Thanks for listening to Scary Ideas. I'm Tim Weichselbaum. This is episode 7. Today, we have our first pre-scheduled caller. I'm interviewing the author of a book called Confessions from Your Fat Friend. Her name is Paige Fieldstead. I think this is her 4th book. It's about the body positive movement. So without further ado, I'm going to take her right off hold right now. Hey, Paige, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. I just started the stream a little bit nervous because you're my first, real guest who actually...
Oh, don't be nervous.
So this is I believe it's your 4th book?
Third. It's my third book.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was just going on your Amazon and I saw that, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, I did a part of an anthology
Got it.
shows up under my books as well, but that's really just a short story.
How long have you been an author?
So I published my first book 2.5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been writing forever.
Very cool. So this book, the newest one, is called Confessions from Your Fat Friend. It's about obviously the body positive movement. So this movement, I know about it, but I'm very not educated about it. But it seems like one of those movements that are a good topic for this podcast. This podcast is about stuff that's kind of controversial or anything that people just don't like to talk about, that make people uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would say it definitely falls under that.
Mm-hmm. And so...
Yeah, so this book is, it's nonfiction, so it's classified as a memoir, because I would say, it's my memoir as growing up as the fat friend. And, each chapter is its own, self-contained personal essay, each a different confession. But it does talk a lot about body positivity and my journey to kind of get to a place where I accept my body now, which it was not always like that. So that's what the book is about, and I've actually been thinking about writing it for probably 3 or 4 years now. So it just happens to be that body positivity is a huge thing right now.
Right.
So that was fortunate for me.
Yeah, it seems like this movement kind of started, it's a pretty new movement in and of itself, it seems like, and also it's becoming more popular. I think it's trendy right now, but how old do you think that movement even is?
I think it's actually older than most of us realize. I'm not entirely sure when it started, but it's actually a little bit different. People will tell you body positivity means different things, but the actual body positivity movement is meant to get underrepresented and unrepresented bodies represented in media and on social media, and so where you typically see skinny white girls as models mostly.
Right.
Was the norm for years and years. The body positivity movement is working to make space for all sorts of different bodies of color, bodies with disabilities, bodies, fatter bodies, all of those things, just making space in the media for all of those so everyone has a chance to see their body represented.
Right. So obviously this is basically an anti-fat shaming movement. It's not, or body shaming movement is what I think I meant to say, because it's not just about weight. It's about basically anything that makes you shamed physically, it seems.
Yes, definitely. It's not. I think a huge part of the focus has been on weight, but that's definitely not the only part of it. Anything that people could body shame you for sure.
And so I guess the thing about it is that is empowering for you is that you're no longer feeling internal shame based on other people. I feel like based on the first few chapters, you have this internal shame, or at least you did, and now you're over it. Or do you?
I don't know if you can ever really be over it, because there's so many external pressures still now, like, diet culture is still a huge thing, and there's still a ton of pressure to lose weight and to be thin so you can be beautiful, because those two things are, I guess, synonymous. They're really not, but that's what, like, the media would have you believe. So there are definitely days I still struggle, but for the most part, I have gotten past that, where I look in the mirror and just hate everything I see, or where, like, one bad outfit, like, ruins my entire week. Like, that used to happen. That sounds really pathetic, but totally true. Like, I'd wear something and then I would just it would just spiral, like, oh, well, now I should go on a diet, and then I'd eat a cookie and be like, oh, now I failed my diet, and it would just spiral completely out of control. And now it can just be like, okay, well, this outfit isn't the best, but you know what, I've got other things to worry about in my life, which is, like you said, is empowering and also freeing. Like, it's freed up so much mental space and so much energy, and just so much, like, I just have so much time and energy for other things, because I'm not constantly focused on how my body looks and how I can make my body smaller.
So I guess if people were to try to criticize the body positive movement, I mean, obviously people do, because people say that it's like, well, so we should just not try to improve on, like, if it's a weight issue, the people would be like, oh, we just want to accept you even though you're maybe a little bit unhealthy. So how would you respond to people who would say that it's a bad thing to embrace something that might be something that could actually be kind of unhealthy, let's just say?
Yeah, so I would say that's probably one of the biggest criticisms I hear of the body positivity movement, is that it's glorifying, like, obesity and making it okay to be, like, fat and lazy. And I think there's two things I would say to that. Is one, you cannot look at a person and know whether they are healthy or not based on their body size. There are plenty of skinny people out there with high cholesterol and diabetes and all the same diseases that you typically, like, associate with being overweight. Like, there are plenty of skinny people that are not healthy as well. So I would say, first of all, like, body size is not indicative of health. And the second thing is, and I've actually had to explain this to my husband just a couple of days ago, is that body positivity is not about letting yourself go, so to speak, and just giving up entirely. In fact, for me, I would say getting to a place of body positivity and, like, self-love has actually made me want to be healthier, because you're taking care of your body. For me, I'm taking care of my body from a place of, like, self-love versus, like, I hate myself, so I need to follow this diet. Like, that doesn't work for anybody. I mean, if it works for you, that's awesome.
And that's why, like, it's called...
That's never worked for me, to be like, I'm going to hate myself skinny. Like, obviously that never works. So it's not about letting yourself go. In fact, I would say, like, you can definitely still practice healthy habits. You can even lose weight. Like, I think, like, if you're body positive, that doesn't mean you can't ever lose weight again. Like, it's about being healthy and focusing on those healthy habits, but, like, appreciating and embracing your body along the way. And like, you don't need to wait till you're a certain size or weight to appreciate your body. You can do it now while you're still working to be the healthiest version of yourself.
I got it. So that's why it's called the body positive movement, is because it's about freeing up the negative shame, and also because you want to base your decisions on, like, I'm trying to just wrap my head around it, because I think it is a good thing, and also a lot of people don't choose to be how they are. I don't think anyone really chooses to be overweight.
No. I mean, I'm sure. I think there probably are some people based, like, just on their, like, habits are making those choices, people would say. But, like, I also think, like, there's not only one, like, body size. Like, there's varying body heights. Like, we all come in different heights. Like, I firmly believe that body size is similar. Like, because if every person on the planet ate the exact same food and did the exact same workout, there's still going to be different sizes. Like, I saw a post on Instagram the other day that said, if people can be naturally thin, then people can be naturally fat too. Obviously, I think there's, like, a tipping point where if all you do is eat unhealthy junk food and sit on the couch all day, there comes a point where that's obviously not a natural state for your body to be in. But I think some people are just, as big boned is something I think they've been called in the past. Like, some people are just naturally larger than others, and there's going to be variation regardless of how we exercise and how we eat.
I mean, yeah, because aside from it being a bad thing, it's not it's inherently not your fault if you're born with the genetics that make you predisposed to be overweight, and people obviously have been shaming you when you were younger, it seems, or just you were just shamed by the circumstances, and also sounds like you were left out or not included because of it, and these reasons, these negative external forces, doesn't sound like a fun reason to be encouraged to lose weight. It sounds like a toxic reason to want to motivate
yourself. I would
totally
agree with that.
So I guess what it makes sense that it should come from self-love instead of just, I want to satisfy society.
Exactly. And it's just like there's so many, like I said, external forces. Like, if all you see growing up are thin, perfectly curvy, like Victoria's Secret model bodies, and that's what is equated with beauty, then if you don't look like that, it's like, oh, well, I'm not beautiful and no one's ever going to love me. And it's like hopeless, basically, is how it felt for years. But like, that's just not true. Like, there's not one definition of beauty, and like I said,
right,
I don't think the vast majority of the population will ever look like Victoria's Secret models, no matter how much we diet and work out. So
because obviously society kind of sets the standard for what beauty is, and then it seems like people just slowly kind of adhere to that. Like, so like you were saying, it used to just be very skinny white women that were considered models. Now people are more open and inclusive to any other ethnicity or body type. Like, even just the concept of being attracted. Like, do you think the problem with society, one of the if we just started, which we are, except having, I guess, overweight models, that eventually society will consider that beautiful?
I mean, I think it helps, yes, and I think we're getting there. But there's a chapter in my book where I talk about this, where like, yes, there's like more plus size models and curvier models, and there's some companies that do a really good job of having like a huge, wide range of models. But a lot of the like conventional models you see, even if they are plus size, are still like curves in all the right places, and they still have a flat stomach, and they still like, in my opinion, is still something that like not everybody could like achieve that body type. And so I think we're slowly inching toward where you actually might see all body types in advertising and in the media, but I don't think we're there yet. But I think yes, I think what we see in the media will help, but it also has to happen. Like, we have to teach the next generation that like we have to teach the little girls, that we have to teach everyone. Like, it's really hard because like little kids like call you fat, and you're just like, well, what am I supposed to say to that? But so like, we have to teach them that like fat isn't necessarily a bad thing,
right?
And that commenting on people's bodies in general is like a rude thing to do, kind of like a disrespectful is the word I was looking for, is like a disrespectful thing to do. Like, we need to place less focus on our bodies and more on anything else. Like, we people in general are more than just our bodies. Like, there are so many things we do that have nothing to do with our bodies that we should, like, that's what we should be focusing on.
And you mentioned that even within the plus size modeling world, you still have to have the right proportions to be considered attractive even in the context of that. Like, you need, which is interesting. For sure. Like, even the cover of your book, like that model, there's a very consistent look. There's a proportion about her that looks attractive.
Yeah, and I think I didn't pick that photo. My cover designer
Mhm.
did, but I think, yeah, she struggled to find like what you would define as like a fat model, like in the stock photography, which is an issue that I think is getting better. But like I've heard this from lots of different like business owners, that stock photography sites like iStock and stuff like that are still very much not inclusive. Like it's really hard to find plus size people or people that are like different ethnicities, different like disabilities. Like it's still very much.
So is that a stock photo?
It is a stock photo.
Gotcha.
I couldn't tell you where my cover designer got it, but it is a stock photo. And like I said, I know I've heard from other people that finding more inclusive photos is really difficult on stock photography sites.
Sounds like
So that's
a
one area
good
where we're not
business
doing great.
opportunity. If someone wants to start a a stock photo company that just includes that, that sounds like a good business opportunity.
Yes. No, yeah, I think that's an amazing business opportunity. If I was a photographer, I would do it myself.
Yeah. So what else? So I think we agree pretty much that it's a healthy mindset to not let society decide when it's a good idea to do anything to change your aesthetic, to lose weight, or if you're just, aside from the overweight thing, if you have like a certain look about you that is considered not attractive, so there's nothing you could do about it. You can't really just get plastic surgery to satisfy other people. And also anorexia seems like a similar thing that people do, or become diagnosed, or they have that disease, I think, mostly because of an unhealthy thing that other people are telling them. Because
Right. No, I agree. Like a lot of times eating disorders start with just dieting and then become more extreme until they reach like an eating disorder status.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think a ton of that comes from pressure, whether it's pressure from society, pressure from your family, wherever that pressure is coming from. The pressure to, yeah, like you said, not just necessarily be thin, but also to conform to whatever the current beauty trends are. And it was really interesting. I saw it's been a couple months now. It was on Instagram. It was a girl who had obviously photoshopped herself. She'd taken pictures of herself and photoshopped them to meet the like ideal body type of like certain time periods. And it was like super interesting because I'm like, without plastic surgery, there is no way that one person could be all of these body types over the course of like 30 or 40 years. So it's like we're all just setting ourselves up for failure because there's no way that, like I said, any one person without tons of plastic surgery can meet all those body types. So it's just crazy, and it's unrealistic, and it's harmful to like put that pressure on young girls.
Absolutely, and I feel like there's certainly some truth to the fact that it's more prominent in women than men to have to live up to body standards or anything. Like men do not get fat shamed, but
Right.
that's about it. They don't get ugly shamed or
Right. And I think, I mean, I'm not a man, obviously, but I've heard stories from other men that, like, there is some of that, like you said, some fat shaming and some body stuff. But I think even for men, like, the level of fat shaming is significantly less than it is for women.
There's so many. I've never heard of any man with anorexia.
I have not. I'm sure there is, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or not, so.
That just shows the asymmetry in the way society actually. I don't know. I keep saying the word society, but it's external. Like I mean, like, and also like.
Well, yeah, no, and it's
go
like
ahead.
I don't know if you know who Lizzo is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love Lizzo, but she had a tweet. I saw a tweet of hers the other day that basically said along the lines that, like, she posts something and she still gets tons of people, like, commenting, like, fat shaming her.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I bet.
Diet or whatever. And her tweet basically said, like, if Post Malone posts a video, like, nobody comments on him about him being a fat ass. And she's like, it's because men, like being a fat man is accepted and like but being a fat woman is not. So like I think that's super generalizing things, but I think for the most part the issues, it's way more of an issue for women than it is for men.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lizzo is obviously very prominent in the cultural zeitgeist, and she's paving the way for a new trend, it seems like. She's the first of her type I mean, she's not the first, but she's like an African-American successful woman, but she's making it more about, it's not just about the music with her. Like, she's very about the image. That's why, I mean, she only has... She doesn't even have 1 million followers. Well, yeah, I guess she's pretty new to the fame game, so who knows how long she'll...
Yeah, she is. I mean, I started following her on Instagram like less than 3 months ago, and she had less than 1 million followers, and now I think she's like over 10 million or something. Like she has literally exploded.
Yeah.
In the last like 3 months, which, like I said, I think is amazing. But
yeah, I mean, every time her song plays, anytime one of her songs play in public, a lot of certain people like start getting very excited, and it's usually people who would probably be very pro body positivity, because that's kind of what a lot of her stuff is about. I mean, also just pointing out that you don't need to impress them to be
right. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yep. But anyway, I thought it was a very good call. Any last thoughts before I let you go? And I will be plugging. I'll be linking to your book in the podcast description.
Awesome. Yeah. So I would, like I said, I just think in body positivity, like I said, the movement is really about getting underrepresented bodies in the media, but I think body positivity in general is for everyone. Like, I think everyone deserves to love and appreciate their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you're fat or skinny or anything in between. I just think it's for everybody, and that everybody, I think for the most part, everybody at some point in their life struggles with those body image issues, which is kind of why I wrote that book, to let people know, like, you're not alone in these struggles.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I wrote it.
I think that's great. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. I'll see you.
Have a good night.
Good night, Paige.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, I'm really awkward at saying goodbye. But anyway, that was a really good call from an author of the book called Confessions from Your Fat Friend. So okay, we got another caller. Hey, how's it going? What's your name? Hello?
Derek Strong.
Oh, Derek Strong. How's it going, man? Thanks for calling.
Absolutely, yeah. I figured I'm watching this smoking hot new podcast / live TV show, whatever it is, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give a little call into this, see what's going on with Tim.
Yeah, so far this episode is lit, dude. Got all these comedians talking about Lizzo and stuff.
I don't know who Lizzo is. I'm old.
Oh, really?
You gotta remember that. I have no idea what a Lizzo is.
I can't believe you don't know who Lizzo is. What, are you not woke?
I'm anti-woke. I am the epitome opposite of woke. I'm slept.
Well, so am I.
What's a Lizzo?
Yeah. Lizzo is a hip hop artist, just a very prominent new hip hop recording artist who has a couple really good songs, like Truth Hurts.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm sure you've heard her. So it's like, why are men great till they? All right, and I'm not gonna sing.
I'd love it if you sing. Sing for me, baby, sing.
I guess that song's been out for a while, actually. This song right here. You can't hear it, but I'm playing it for the audience. Never mind.
Okay,
they already know it, so it doesn't.
This song's amazing.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly. The people who already know it, they're the ones that are listening, not the guy who has no idea what the hell this is about.
Yeah.
So wait, what's the deal with Lizzo? I'm assuming she's morbidly obese or something.
Well, yeah, she's overweight, and a lot of her songs are very empowering. to women, especially women who are into the body positive movement, which is what we were just talking about with the author in the last phone call about body positivity. And
oh yeah,
what do you think about that?
Well, I could speak to that. Well, so I used to be 330 pounds. I dropped down to about 210, and then I found about 40 of that back. So
nice.
Yeah, I've been back and forth and all over the place. It's a struggle, man. And yeah, just to touch on something she mentioned, guys get body shamed all the time. I had a boss back when I was living in New York. I had a boss that used to call me a fat piece of shit every single day. At one point, I pulled him aside and I said, listen, you got to stop with that shit, because if you don't, I'm going to wait for you after work and I'm going to bash you in the head with a brick, and I'm not going to stop till somebody calls the cops. And he stopped. He called me everything else, but he stopped calling me a fat piece of shit.
So he actually said it that way. He calls you a fat piece of shit, verbatim.
Fat piece of shit. Yep, verbatim.
Well, I mean, okay, that's basically abuse at that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a lot of stuff about that job that were just like, I mean, you know, that was like the very low end of the spectrum, and not just to me, but to other people as well, and not just from him, but from every manager there. I'm not going to say what company it is, but let's say their colors are blue and yellow.
It's interesting.
Blue and yellow.
It's interesting how men do get fat shamed, probably maybe even just as often as women. It's just that it's so direct, and the way that, like, I would be afraid to call a woman overweight, but a man, it's kind of fun.
Oh yeah,
it's like you're kind of invited to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be like, you know, socially acceptable. Oh yeah, we're just breaking each other's balls. We're joking with each other, you know. And it's like, yeah, but at some point, it's like, all right, well, especially if it's somebody in a position of power who has the ability to fire and promote me at the same time, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm really not going to fight back as often. Whereas if, you know, if you called me a fat piece of shit, I'd be like, you short fuck, why don't you climb up a ladder and say it to my face? You know what I mean? Like, you know, so there's just there's a back and forth there where, and I get it with women. It's, I feel for them when it comes to it, because they're just on the receiving end both ways. I mean, and it's just, you know what it is? It's like a lot of the media that is targeted towards women. Basically, like if you ever read like a magazine that's targeted towards women, it's literally an instruction book, like, you should hate yourself for this reason, this reason, this reason. It's like every page is just, you know, other women telling women, because these are all the different ways you should hate yourself. It's ridiculous. So I totally see that there is, yeah, even though men do get fat shamed, maybe as much, there's definitely, they get maybe as much, it's definitely a lot meaner, I think, when it's geared towards women. Whereas when it's another guy, it's kind of supposed to be, at least on the surface, it's supposed to be quote unquote camaraderie and you know, stuff like that. So yeah.
So we both agree that the body positivity movement is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm not to call it a movement, but I mean, just the self-acceptance part of it, to me, I think is the most important aspect. You know, it's because people are going to judge you no matter what. I think that, you know, that if a person is comfortable with themselves, because I've met a lot of very confident people who were overweight, and like, nothing anybody's going to tell them is going to make them think different. Do you know what I mean? So if society still wants to do it, or still wants to, you know, fat shame or whatever, use that as a source of humor, you know, I mean, it's kind of played out. You know, I like to talk about myself all the time in a deprecating way, because I'm, you know, about being fat. But a lot of that also is to motivate myself. It's just like, yes, I'm aware that this is something that I don't like about myself. Now, it's not because it's not about a looks thing for me. It's more because I physically don't like how it feels.
That makes sense.
Because I've been lighter than this. Yeah. So it's like, I want to go back to being lighter. That's just it. But where I'm comfortable, is nowhere near what society would deem ideal. And you know what? Fuck society.
No, I agree that it's a played out thing to joke about. Like, even just saying the word fat is a triggering thing to me, even. Yeah. And
it can be, yeah.
Like, just me calling, like, attributing somebody as fat seems like a damaging, problematic thing.
I mean, yeah, and it can be, and I think it's up to the individual, obviously, to to be as to have some feeling about it one way or another. The person who's calling it, and like you said, the person who's saying,
unless you're fat, it's kind of like the N word. Like if you're fat, you're allowed to call yourself fat or other fat people fat.
Oh yeah, me and a friend of mine, we roast each other all the time about being fat. I love, doing fat jokes on other fat people, and I love being roasted about it from other fat people. I don't mind it from, I don't even mind it from skinny people. I mind it from people who are in positions of power that I'm not going to, I can't call them out on their shit.
Right.
But other than that, anybody can talk about me being fat. I'll just pick something on them that, I could make fun of.
What about a woman that you're interested in? Her, obviously, there's, like, I don't know, like, have you ever been called fat by a woman?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times, but 99% of the time it's either been with a woman who I've been dating, who I've dated plenty of heavy women in my life, or, somebody who I just have that level of friendship and rapport with. So, and I guess what? They have no problem with me calling them fat right back. So
see, there's obviously a thing there. There's a difference between men and women. Like, men get fat, overweight men get women, but overweight women don't get men as easy. Like, that's definitely a big factor when picking, for men.
Well, I mean, it's also socially, like, it's very common where it's also dependent upon, because biologically, men are, what they're looking for, women what they're looking for. There's different attributes. So the looks department, and again, this is not me saying this, I'm just saying this is what I've read, that, looks aren't necessarily as higher on, on typically what's supposed to be, quote unquote, supposed to be, higher on what a woman deems to be important when it's seeking out a mate, where for a man it is, but for reasons of procreation, like, one with a higher waist-to-hip ratio means that they can give birth to more children, blah, blah. Younger means that they produce more eggs, and so on and so forth. So, so it goes along that line.
Like, I guess another manifestation of the body positive movement is it is working. Like, men, like someone in the chat, Francisco, just said thick girls for the win. So that's evidence right there. Thick women are definitely considered attractive, but that has to do with the last caller, the author mentioned that it still has to be the right standard, the right proportions, like otherwise it's not attractive. If you're just thick and also heavy on top, it has to be thick in the right places, and that's hot. That's considered A+. That's basically So that's a good thing. I think.
Well, I mean, in terms of the society standard, like it's like again, like I mentioned before, waist to hip ratio. I mean, if that's considered globally what an attractive feature, if that's thick, that's a good thing. And then if it
also said
if it doesn't have that proportion, then it's
he said minorities like thick women more. Do you think that's true, that it's a minority?
I don't know about that. I've liked thick women my whole life, so
that's fair.
And that's I just
good for you. You're progressive.
Well, no, I mean, since I was in high school, definitely. I'm 41 now, so I mean that's a long time. But my preference leans towards that. But again, it boils down to ultimately personality. If I can't get along with you, I don't give a fuck how you look.
Yeah, of course.
Can I curse on this?
Of course.
Oh, Jizz Bucket.
Jizz
and Bucket. Jizz Bucket. There I go. I got all my cursing out there. How you doing, Tim? This is a good format that you have here. I'm glad you're doing this, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, you're a very comfortable caller, like, because you're not an expert in anything, so I'm not intimidated. No, I was.
Thank you. Good. Yeah, I'm really not an expert in anything.
Like, you're an expert in something.
You have some spots where you get some good ribs. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
That's my forte right there.
You do know a lot about grocery stores, grocery business. Right?
Oh my God, I'm the grocery fucking maven. I worked at Aldi, work at Jewel, and right now I work at both Jewel and Mariano's. So
nice. Unbiased.
What do you need to know, man?
What's your unbiasedly? What's the best grocery store in Chicagoland area?
best company to work for is Aldi by far.
Hell
Best
yeah.
grocery store is Mariano. Most fun place to work, Jewel.
Well, that's the second time somebody said that Aldi is like the best one to work for. They said that they have super
Yeah.
high wages for whatever, like above
Oh, yeah.
minimum wage, and that was Billy Dean, I think, who said that. So that's cool. So we got two
Yeah.
shout outs to Aldi.
Yeah, it is. And just like how they structure their company and like their attention to detail when it comes to the little things, you know, how they go about, you know, giving people benefits. You know, just the structure of the business itself. If you're looking to move up in the grocery world, you could do a lot worse than Aldi. And I am doing a lot worse than Aldi, but yeah, Aldi is a great company to work for.
Very cool. Anything else on your mind that you want to bring up before I get to the next caller?
No, man. Just this was a great experience. I got some shows coming up. People
Wanna
come
plug
out
'em?
to see me. Yeah, I'll plug them. I got tomorrow night. I'm doing free for all at the Playground Theater. Next Saturday, I'm going to be at Annoyance for a little Annoyance show. Let's see. And then on the 30th, I'm hosting my buddies. Oh, and next Thursday, I'm going to be at Stage 773. Dr. Ellen Wesley's putting on a show, and that's going to be great.
Very cool. Very nice. Glad to see you active in the comedy scene, getting some good quality stage time.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, Derek. All right. That was our second caller, Mr. Derek. He did say his last fake name, so I guess so it was Derek Strong, and that was his first time calling in. We did continue on with the body positivity topic, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get another caller to also talk about that. But if not, we could talk about anything on here as long as it's a little bit scary and a little bit controversial. All right, here we come. Here we go. Hey, thanks for calling. What's your name?
It's Max.
Hey, finally got you on the show, dude. Sorry you had to wait so long.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. What's going on? I've been watching the show, man. I heard Derek Strong, aka Poppy Stromboli, was on there. I was listening to him.
Hell yeah, it's pretty lit.
It's really fucking good, bro.
Lit episode. What are you up to tonight?
Oh man, nothing, man. I just I was working a little bit, and then I was like, I put it on my alarm clock to call in for you. So I'm calling you in on my break.
So you usually fall asleep at this time?
Oh man, are you kidding me? I barely sleep, man. I
Okay.
barely sleep, man.
You barely sleep, so that's why you sometimes sporadically pass out.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's 100%, man.
So,
100%.
what's been on your mind that you need to get off your chest? Anything?
What's been on? Oh man, I've been listening to the show. It's crazy from what I saw. Like, you know, it's fat shame, man.
Mhm.
Like that's what's on my mind right now. So I'm
Okay.
thinking about it. Like it's no secret that, you know, I grew up in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and like,
Mhm.
you know, where I'm from, there's no such thing as fat shaming. You know.
Wait, where in Haiti? Did you said something before Haiti? Where in Haiti?
Port-au-Prince.
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 Cool.
Yeah,
Port-
that's my hometown. You know, it's
Gotcha.
also the capital. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, wanted to get specific. Yeah, cool. So I could look it up. Cool.
Yeah, man. It's there's no such thing as fat shaming where I'm from. There's none. Like, I mean, because like if you're fat, that means you can afford food every day and have an abundance of it. You know, like.
Yeah, there's not a lot of fat. So there are some fat people there. They're just rich.
Yeah, obviously it's a sign of it's a sign that you're rich. You know, or at least a sign you can eat consistently. So, you know, it's like, what? Like, I had never understood the concept of fat shaming. Like, I've been skinny my whole life, you know, and like, last time I traveled to Haiti, the body that was in 2012, by the way. Last time I went to Haiti was 2012. And, like, the girls liked men who had a little gut on them, what we would call dad bod. That's what was in 2012 back home.
Did you have one back then?
Yeah, I had one back then, but that's because I was drinking a lot, you know. But like the ladies loved the little gut.
So you
know?
did.
And like,
So you did
on
well.
A man.
You picked up some women?
Nah, man, nah. I was with my family, bro.
Oh,
Like, I know. Like, just visiting family, I have no time, man. It's running up and down the country doing stupid shit, you know, and
gotcha.
you know. Yeah, so
I
there's
guess
no
that was a
such
long
thing
time
as
ago.
that thing.
2012. That's when I started comedy. So that was like 7 years ago or something. How old? So you were pretty like I don't know how old you are, but you were.
Let's see, 2012. I was. I gotta figure out how old I was.
Doesn't
Hold on a
matter. The point is, so they don't shame you for being fat, but they will probably shame you if you're rich a little bit, probably, right? Not shame you, but be mad at you.
Nah, they'll shame you for being too skinny.
Oh, okay.
Because
Really?
it's gonna be the opposite. Because like being skinny means, man, this motherfucker can't even eat. Like you try to holler at a girl and you're skinny as hell, she's gonna tell you, man, you can't even eat. Why are you trying to talk to me? Like that happened to my friend. The girl said, man, you can't even eat. Don't talk to me. And my friend was smart and he responded, what do you mean I can't eat? It's like, and he's like, the correct thing you're trying to say is I don't have food to eat. Like I can eat, I just don't have it. You know, it was like
Right.
the funniest shit I had ever seen in my life. I'm like, he has a point there, you know.
So they
like-
shame you for being poor, basically.
Yeah, basically.
I would consider Haiti. Would you consider it a very poor country?
Oh, absolutely.
Or
bro.
just a poor
Absolutely.
country? It looks pretty poor.
Absolutely,
The
bro.
GDP per capita is only $700.
Yeah, but you can't rely on those facts.
Gotcha.
Because there's like an informal economy that brews in Haiti as well. Like the informal economy probably puts it at like I'm gonna go around make it around like 6,000 or 7,000 U.S. Because there's a lot of stuff like because you remember because like they got that stuff and most people aren't paying taxes. I can guarantee.
Oh
that,
shit! I mean, if you, I did look, and it's basically in the lowest tier in terms of
Yeah.
per capita GDP. So that's fascinating. And how long did you live there?
I lived there until I was 14 years old. Like it was like in 1999, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm coming. Hey, it's been 20 years since I lived in the States. July 13th, 1999. Oh, wow, I forgot about that.
So how'd you emigrate? Like, what was the process?
It was fairly easy, you know. First thing we did was we built a raft with gallons,
Oh shit!
and then we used our bed sheets as
Ooh.
for sale. And no, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. My dad used to live here, and my dad worked here as a psychiatrist in a hospital.
Uh-huh.
And like and my mom and my dad had an ongoing relationship, and then my mom just got us a U.S. visa, and then later on we got our residency, and then that's when I moved here permanently.
So it was a bit of a process.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a process, man, but it wasn't too crazy. But like, yeah, we came in a weird way, man. It was like in '99, you know, Clinton was coming out, Bush was coming in, you know, the usual crap.
Shit. So you move into a first world country, and you had to learn the language, I assume. Actually, yeah.
Not really.
Not really.
Nah, it's because since my dad lived here since like the '60s or the '70s, I would periodically come visit him, and I'd pick up English just by like watching TV in Haiti and playing Zelda and playing Star Fox back in the day. So that's
Yeah,
how I
because
learned it.
I can't detect any accent.
Not yet, at least. There's certain words
It comes out?
That it comes
Yeah.
out in certain words, man. It's crazy.
And do you still speak Haitian or whatever? I'm very ignorant to what
I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah.
No.
Creole.
You speak Creole, yeah. Speak Haitian Creole.
Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. What else can I ask that's ignorant? Did some people actually take rafts from there?
Oh, yeah, that was very common in the 90s. It's not as common now
Right.
because people have found different ways to come to the United States. Like
Okay.
they either go to Mexico or they go to Puerto Rico or something like that, or, you know, they go to Chile and then move their way up
Mm-hmm.
that way. But there's still people who take rafts and things like
Really?
that. But back in the 90s when I lived there, there was the president just had gotten disposed of earlier in that decade. So the turmoil was like a lot of people were leaving because it was like a military dictatorship kind of almost.
I imagine not a lot of people are taking rafts at this point, just blindly thinking they could just land in Florida or some shit from Haiti.
Oh yeah, it's only like I don't know, like 70 miles at most.
Really?
It's not that far, man.
From Florida or from Cuba? Yeah.
From Haiti. Yeah,
that's not bad.
It's not bad. Like 90 miles, I think it's like 90. So it's not that difficult.
Huh.
I mean, let me rephrase that. It's perilous, but like it's not too crazy because people have done it so many times. You know, so many thousands, if not millions, of people have done it from like if you accumulated the whole time that people have been doing it.
So let's see if we could get this back to the body positivity. So you don't give a fuck about that, do you?
No, man. I actually like it. I've dated women from all over the body spectrum.
Nice.
So like to me it hasn't been a big thing to me, you know. Like I said, I was confused by it, you know. Like I remember when I was in high school, you know, I saw this girl and I thought she was hot, you know, and my friends were like, she's fat, and I'm like, what? That makes no sense, you know, because I'm like, you know, so as far as body positivity goes, like I've dated women from all over, up and down, like, so it's.
Well, that's evidence that society is what sculpts our standards for beauty. Because you were not taught that overweight women are unattractive. You just never knew that to be a thing. So naturally, you're just, hey, she's attractive. What was
Absolutely.
So? Yeah, that's interesting. So that means that confirms that society is what's evil. And but still, I don't know. Like, so do you think? Are you also attracted to the more traditional American body type that is considered beautiful? Like, are you attracted to skinny women, or do you prefer thick women?
I prefer thick women. I'll start with the thick. I'll start with the thick. You know, but like skinny women are attractive as well. But it just hasn't been my main dating pool, as it were. You know, it hasn't been my main, and you know, it's not usually the people I go after.
And someone said that minorities like thick women more. Do you think that's the case?
Absolutely, I think that's the case. That's the case because like the standards for most like the standards that the beauty standards we have now, like it didn't exist 50 years ago. You know, women back in the 50s and the 60s were a lot jigglier, I should say. You know, like you know, they had a lot more jiggle to their bodies. You know, so I think this is something that's really new, and I think it coincides with the invention of television. You know, like that's when it started going, because like, you know, because people were seeing it, and then like the way televisions work, I thought, you know, made. You know, because they say TV adds 10 pounds, you know, so they wanted people really, really, really skinny.
So why is it that, do you think that only minorities seem, why do you think that minorities tend to prefer that more than majorities, white people? Do you know?
I'm not sure about most minorities. I can tell you this from my perspective of it. My perspective is like coming where I come from, you know, like a thicker woman is a sign that she's healthy, you know, like this is purely biological and evolutionary. So she's more healthy, you know, she can carry more babies because she has a reserve of food, and you know, and our lizard brains like, oh, this is a healthy person because they have X amount of, you know, meat on them and they can carry babies. Therefore, you know, that's an attractive person, you know, purely biological in that sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think so. A lot of places where, you know, there's food scarcities, people will tend to find thicker women more attractive,
right,
because
that makes sense.
It signals health.
Yeah, and I guess thick, even like that is a compliment when you call somebody thick, even though it's basically you're hitting on them, so it could be perceived as catcalling or harassment, but it is a compliment.
Holy shit! Oh man, Oh man, I didn't know that. I didn't know
What?
it was.
You didn't
I
know
just
what?
I didn't know it was catcalling or harassment. I thought, hey, I get sick. You sick?
Well, I
Yeah,
just mean what. I just mean how it could be. Like it could be seen that way.
It could be. I don't mean it that way. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sick. Congratulations. It's like saying, you're handsome, or it's just like.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just feel like it is kind of a risky thing to just say to somebody you don't know that well.
I think it's only if you're white,
Right.
If you're a minority, it's part of your culture. No, like sick is.
I agree.
That's what we say,
I agree. Okay. What about something that has nothing to do with this? How do you feel about people calling you African American?
It's weird because technically I'm not American,
Right.
even though I'm a citizen. I'm a naturalized citizen. I'm Haitian American. However, like it still makes sense because like this is still the Americas, so technically they're right, but technically they're wrong. That's why I prefer the all-encompassing term black.
Yeah.
It encompasses, because
so you don't take issue with the African part.
No, not at all. I don't
Even
take
though
issue with the African part. I take issue with the American part in a weird way. Because technically I'm not American, but I am kind of American.
I got you.
But like.
So you don't care about people getting the African part. You don't be like, no, I'm Caribbean.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I think these are all terms that just keep putting more categories in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I prefer black. Black covers like whether you're Caribbean, whether you're straight from Africa, or you're African American, as it were, or you're Canadian. As long as you're black covers all of that. So that's what I use, because it's more encompassing.
Yeah, it's weird to split hairs too.
Because African American is just the nationality, but black is the race. I prefer to go with black, but that's my preference.
Cool. So you're proud of that label. You like that label. Also, what if someone wanted to book you for a acting role or a comedy role because you're Caribbean?
Oh, that's good too.
No, why not?
Where's the money at? How much money are we talking about? As long as it's nothing too crazy that if they want me to play a Trinidadian, I'm like, yo, that is out of my. That's out of my range right there. That's a complicated accent.
I just think it's curious because there's no comedy shows that I've seen that theme themselves on that market. Like they don't like this is only Caribbean comics.
It's. I will tell you this: Caribbean parents, they push us to not be comics. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
like they. So there's not that big of a market. There's not that many Caribbean comedians.
Right.
That I can count.
There's very few. That's why it's fascinating.
And on top of that, like there might be some, but they do not identify with the Caribbean part.
Right.
They might just go ahead straight into the. It might be sprinkled in their acts a little bit here and there. But it's not like. Not a main course of their act. That's what I can tell. That's what I see all the time as far as comedy.
Well, I don't see what. Yeah, but it's interesting. I don't know because I was just wondering because there seems to be other markets for other countries or other nationalities or whatever. Like Latino, that's a big one. Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. Technically, I'm also a Latino, so.
Right.
So, like, I could fit in all these categories.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Latin America, so I could fit into Latino comedy. But hey, but when they say that, they really mean like predominantly Spanish speaking.
Right. And what got you into comedy?
It was a combination of I was in college, and a lot of my friends, we would have like 6, 7, 8 hour lunch, where we just talk and joke about everything, and then like the more we had those lunches, the more I'm like, man, I have to be making these people laugh. We were telling jokes, and I always wanted to. I was like, well, if I move to a place, there's comedy. I'm gonna try it, and then I ended up moving to Chicago, and then like within 2 months of me moving to Chicago, I was just like, let me try to hit the stage, you know.
So you didn't move here for comedy?
No. I actually moved here. I wasn't supposed to move here at all. I was supposed to go to Boston. I wanted to go to UMass, and I was supposed to go to UMass Amherst, and then I was taking 2 months off. I was living in Lafayette, Indiana, with my buddy, and then like a friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, we're opening something up in Chicago." Yada yada, yada 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 yada, and then I was like, "Okay, cool." So I came here because I got a job here, which was like my first job out of college,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, "Oh, I'm in the place I want. I'm in a place where I always wanted to live. Let me go ahead and try this comedy thing," and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Got any shows coming up you want to plug?
Tomorrow I'm going to be at the Pilsen Art House, and at the end of the month, let me make sure I got this correct. At the end of the month, tomorrow I'm going to be at the Pilsen Art House for sure, around 8 o'clock, and then at the end of the month, this is an exclusive September 28th at like 8 o'clock. Me and Steve Curry, we're reviving the Way Too Black comedy showcase.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so, stay tuned for that.
Stephen Curry, friend of the show. He's going to try to call
Yeah.
in. It's pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine too, man.
Hell yeah. I guess, unless there's anything else you want to get off your chest.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up with that pink shirt, bro?
I don't know. What was that? It looks what?
It looks good, man.
Oh, it looks good. Oh, I thought I had to defend it.
No. I was like, what's up with it? Like, why got you? I've never seen you in a pink shirt before. It looks really good.
I
bro.
wear it pretty often because, like, I like to look softer than my ideas, you know? Like, I want to present myself as cute and cuddly by colors, only by colors, not by anything, not by, like, getting a good haircut or, like, I don't give a fuck about my hair. That's about it. I like to look soft.
Oh, it looks good on you, especially with that background, man. I think that should be your show T-shirt. You know, your podcast shirt. You know.
Yeah, I
Always
think
wear
it does
something.
look pretty good with the back. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, man. That's all I had to know, man. That's all I wanted to know, man. Like, shoot.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks for that.
Hey, man, you have a good day, man. I'm gonna get back to work. All right.
Sounds good, dude. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
That was caller number 3. That was Max. I believe he said his name, so that means I could repeat. Anyway, that was a good call, dude. We got very deep into me not knowing anything about Haiti. But yeah, like he was saying, there's not a lot of Caribbean comedians or whatever. I don't even think he likes to be called that, but I think it's cool, man, to be doing comedy from a place that a lot of people don't really do comedy from. I think that could only help you career-wise. Also, culturally, people do want to hear from that background. He lived there until he was like, what, 14, he said? So he seems like he hides that. Like, he doesn't sound like he still cares. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth. But anyway, we got another caller coming in. Hey, Steven, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Not bad. It's a pretty good show so far. Pretty lit. Lit up.
For sure. Dude, how long it take for you to recover after last night?
A long time.
Yeah, man, dude, I slept 12 hours, so that was I'm pretty rested, you could say.
I needed every bit. Yeah, I woke up like 2 hours. Like I was like, oh shit, I gotta do the podcast. I was not looking forward to this, but it did turn out to be the best one, I think, so far.
Nah, hey man, pretty good. I've been watching. It's been a pretty good conversation. Pretty interesting with the author of that book, though.
Yeah.
I think I made a comment or whatever that I noticed.
What was your
during
comment?
That whole well, I mean, okay, so we're talking about body positivity or whatever,
Yep.
and I mean, like, I guess, feel comfortable how you feel in your own skin.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. Like, I gotta say, in some ways, man, I kind of like disagree with that sentiment
Mhm.
because, like, dude, okay, I've been skinny pretty much like my whole life, like just athletically fit. I play a lot of sports and stuff growing up, and currently I'm at like the heaviest I've been in my life. And dude, like I can notice like the changes when I walk upstairs, like how I'm out of breath
Mhm.
when like I usually wouldn't be. And it was like I don't see how anyone who is heavier than me would be like more comfortable with like. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just from my perception, but like I don't see that being like I understand how that's like a thing. You know what I mean?
I just think it's funny
Like-
to say that there's it's all relative and it's all based on your own experience. So like I'm sure like if like obviously if you become overweight compared to how you used to be, you're gonna notice the difference. But if you
Yeah.
start out overweight your whole life, and that's the only experience you ever know, then I don't know if you could really validate the comparison of how, like, if you start out
I mean,
overweight.
I would say that if you took away escalators and elevators, then we'd know the difference very quickly.
Right.
Because I mean, you never
So-
see like people of larger size doing too much manual stair walking. You feel what I'm saying?
I mean, we agree that generally it can be unhealthy to be overweight, and that your life expectancy goes down the more overweight you are.
Yeah.
So we agree that it's generally a bad thing to be overweight, but we're just talking about like I'm trying to. So the point you're making is that you should still be unhappy with yourself if you're
I
overweight.
don't think you should be like unhappy with yourself, but like you should know that like I mean maybe just to be because ultimately like as a human we all want to live for as long as we can, the most of us.
Mhm.
And we want to live as comfortably as possible, hence why we have the technology that we have here in the 21st century, because it makes things a lot more comfortable and convenient for us to live in this world that we live in. So to say that like being of a certain size make you're comfortable with being that certain size, like I don't know, I kind of
Mhm.
I don't maybe I'm a dick, but I call bullshit.
I mean, yeah, I guess I would take I would think that what they would respond to that as well. It's not that I'm comfortable with that, with the weight part. It's just that I'm comfortable with my own ability
Being who you are as a person.
to not be shamed by it. Like I don't like, like she was saying that if you just get over the shame part, that actually could encourage you to lose weight. It's just
That's
that
a fucking lie.
It's
Because,
just-
dude, shaming shapes a lot of culture. I mean, look at how a lot of people have been shamed into, like, just acceptance of, say, like, LGBTQ community
Right.
and a lot of other things. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with that, but I know there are some people who do. And we as a society, myself included, have shamed them into like accepting these people for who they are.
some of them,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree that shame is a great tool to force people to rethink their values or whatever, but it doesn't work on all of them. I think education is probably the best thing.
True,
Like
very true.
I
mean,
agree.
but like,
There's tons of shame anytime you do anything that makes you look bad to the LGBT, like homophobic, transphobic, sexist, whatever. Like that's shame, but that doesn't make me want to stop doing it just because someone calls me a bad word.
yeah, well,
It's the
I
education.
mean, it works for some people.
It absolutely does. It scares them. It's just
Yeah.
scare tactics.
I mean, but also too, like, dude, freaking, like, when it comes to like certain things, like say when it comes like health of like size and stuff, that we know all the inherent risks that come in with like being like overweight at a certain point, like diabetes and heart disease
Mhm.
and a few other like body ailments. So like to say that like we should be accepting of a certain thing when people look like that when ultimately we're all trying to make sure everyone's healthy and living their quote unquote best lives. Shouldn't that be something that we strive for as a country? I mean, because like now, like, okay, I'll give it to you in a different context. So I'm a military veteran, you know that, right?
Yeah.
And I still have some friends who are in the military that I talk to. My one friend is a recruiter. Dude, he's having a hard time just recruiting people for military service because the majority of Americans are overweight and or obese.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was ever, like, say, a conflict to where the United States had to enact a draft in order to get, like, the people to, say, you know, defend the country, then it would take us about, I think the statistic I read is about, like, 3 years of prep time just to get people fit enough just to, like, defend the country. And that's, like, kind of sad, bro.
Well, that's an interesting point. I mean, yeah, I guess if we just made it so if society just made it okay for everyone to be overweight, I don't even know if that's a thing that would ever happen, but obviously we need a military, we need a fit military to defend ourselves from other people who are, but it's really weird, but because we live in a developed, rich country where it's possible that we will just eventually turn into the fat people in that movie, that
like
Pixar,
Wall-E and shit.
in Wall-E.
Yeah.
But then we'll probably also just have automated soldiers too. We'll probably just have drones that just.
I mean, we have all those things now, but there's always a need for a ground force.
You're probably
like,
right.
Because
at least
gotta be
today,
able to, like,
yeah.
if not even for like the fighting war aspect, just for like the humanitarian aid, dude. You know what I'm saying? When people are sent in to like say with Hurricane Dorian, if like things have been more dire, where we had to send military personnel for aid to help rescue people out of floodwaters and stuff, you kind of need some fit people to be pulling people out of like buildings and like the fire department, dude. Like,
Yeah.
most firefighters are like physically fit individuals, males and females. You don't want some dude who can barely walking up the stairs to try to rescue from your burning home, bro, because both of you aren't going to make it. You know what I mean?
Well, I agree with that. And also, even aside from the practicality of rescuing people, it just feels bad. It just isn't a pleasant feeling to be overweight, like someone else was saying. So, and it's unhealthy. So it's just, I think the body positivity thing is just about relieving some of the external shame to make it so you could free yourself up to really decide if you yourself want to get healthier. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean...
But I like that you're disagreeing because that makes it more interesting.
I mean, I'm not necessarily disagreeing. I'm more or less playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But also, too, man, I just feel like, I mean, people should strive to be healthier. That way we can live, like, longer, healthier lives. And, man, if that means, like, striving to lose, like, 20 pounds here or there, or, you know, eating, like, healthier options, like, say, like, fruits and veggies as opposed to, like, Cheetos. I mean, this is also something, too, that I feel like it's more of an American problem than anything, or, like, Western society as a whole is, like, something that we, like, fight with, is the accessibility for comfort as opposed to the damn, I have my fault. Like the struggle to, like, I guess, be more comfortable as opposed to, like, going out of the way for the things that will benefit us more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I said, and this is something that I struggle with as well. I mean, I'm not just, like, shaming people for the sake of, like, being a dick. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying, something that me, myself, too, that I deal with on a daily basis. Where I'm like, man, I could have, like, ate an apple, but here I'm at the vending machine grabbing a fucking Snickers bar. You know what I'm saying? Which tastes amazing, but, you know, has no nutritional value and just adding to, like, the future of heart disease that may be in my future if, you know what I'm saying, I don't turn myself around.
And I was talking a little bit about the concept of thickness with Max, and he prefers thick women, and he kind of always did. Like, he never really... Would you agree that without society telling us what was attractive, because you're from America, you would be into? Like, what are you? I don't. It's not really. It doesn't matter what you're into. But I guess I'm curious. So, do you like thick
I mean,
women?
For the point. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm in a thick chick.
Who doesn't?
I think
Yeah.
that's more or less true. I feel like that's like always kind of been like a black thing.
Yeah.
Like what Max was saying, it is in some sense lizard brain genetic. If you, I mean, dude, this is the most time in our human history we've had like this most of a abundance of anything. So like certain resources kind of changed the way we look at things, but we didn't eat as much as we did. And if you saw a woman who had like quote unquote a little more meat on her bones, that looked more attractive than say like a chick that was skinny because she had the nutrients stored in her body to produce a healthier baby, as opposed to someone who was say slimmer that you would have to provide more resources for in order her to have like a viable pregnancy or something like that.
Well, that's fair, and that's exactly what Max was saying, and so that's
Yeah. I mean, but like I don't discriminate. I've dated skinny chicks, I've dated thick chicks, I've dated some obese women,
mhm.
and
So you don't,
I would
and we were kind of
prefer,
talking
like-
last night. I don't know if you remember, but we were talking about.
oh yeah, about white chicks dating black dudes
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, fat white chick. I mean, that's funny, but it's also probably got some truth to it too, man. Because
Yeah.
I don't see very many. I mean, I don't know if this relates to like the topic we were talking about, but yeah, man, like
Kind
it does
of,
say
yeah.
something to like fat white chicks start dating black dudes, or white chicks start dating black dudes once they start gaining weight, because I mean, I don't think white dudes are into fat chicks. So
And doesn't that kind of remind you of like white supremacy, kind of like they're
Yeah.
only gonna date you if they need to, like if they first looked at the top.
yeah,
It reminds me of that.
it's low key racist, or like I don't know, some fucking. I mean,
That's the
I'll be
question.
honest, like.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Is it racism or is it just sexual preference?
Man, I
both.
feel like it might be a bit of both,
Yeah.
because like if I'm being honest, man, a lot of the chicks that like I have been dating in the past, like on a physical standpoint, haven't been women that like I would typically go for given my certain circumstances in life. You know what I mean? Because like I'm broke or whatever, and is like if the shoe was on the other foot, I probably wouldn't date them if I was able to say date what I would deem a more attractive person.
Right. Right.
And I feel like it's vice versa, you know, like a lot of these chicks would date like, you know, the handsome bachelor looking type dude if they could, but they're fucking over 200 pounds, and the dudes that they usually would go for aren't into that, so they got to look elsewhere to get laid, because at the end of the day, we all want to feel good. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know. I think it's hard to get someone to admit that they're not dating you just because of your race. That.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, shit, dude. Just the fact that, like, if you look at the dating statistics collected by, like, all these dating apps and websites, dude, they break down, like, they break down the numbers on who gets swiped on the most and who gets contacted the least. Dude, freaking only, as an African American man, like, the only other man in this country who has it worse than me when it comes to dating selection is Asian men.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. Yeah, that's something I've kind of been interested in. Have you heard of the black pill?
Oh no, what is this?
It's kind of like the red pill, but even more extreme. Like it's part of kind of the incel community.
Oh, okay.
It's basically the pill. The black pill is the one you take when you basically just want to admit that sexual selection is only pretty much based on physical appearance.
Oh no, it's the truth, dude. And like anything otherwise is like kind of bullshit to say, dude. Because like you wanna fuck the person that you're dating.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and if you're not physically attracted to them, then it's gonna be kind of hard to, like, you know, have sex with the person that you're into. I mean, granted, there's a lot of different ways that one can fall in love with a person,
Right.
but I feel like sex is the main way we do it, dude.
Yeah, and just looks. I mean, but that's interesting that you touched on that. But I'm on this subreddit called Black Pill Science, and it basically is just all these studies that try to confirm that it is just based on that women only choose people on, and also that's why incels are so angry, because they get lampooned, they get judged as like these women haters, but actually they're just trying to point out that women are just not fucking them because of immutable characteristics, and I think there's some truth to that, but just so hard to say that without looking like a douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't see any like movements for fucking disabled people and ugly people to try to get laid. You know what I'm saying?
Should be.
Yeah, there should be, dude. Fucking, where's the ugly positivity movement? You feel me?
I think that's part of it. Yeah. I think that is kind of included in the body positive movement, but you just don't hear about it from a male perspective at all.
Oh no, of course not. Why would you ever hear a certain thing like that from a male perspective when we are perceived to be the most dominant and what's the word I'm looking for here? We're the ones in power because we're men.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. And I think is there do you want to maybe do one more thing? Anything else you want to bring up before I let you go move on to another caller?
I mean, nah. I mean, I'm pretty straight with it. Thanks for having me on again. I appreciate the time on the show, man.
And it was really fun hanging out last night, dude.
For sure, man. Until like 4 a.m. We probably should have stayed a couple more hours when everybody went to the other bar, but I was tired.
Yeah, sounds good. Man.
Figured I think those McMuffins kind of slowed down the game for me.
Yeah, totally. That was fun though.
For sure, man. All right, man. Yo, you have a good rest of your show, bro. Talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for calling. What's your name?
Hey, what's up, man? Kenneth Cisco.
Oh, it's Francisco. Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. So you've been watching the show pretty much from the start.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And
I'm off today, so I get to watch it in peace.
Nice.
Sometimes when I'm at work, I fucking just throw on the AirPods, have it on.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Show, man.
And what do you think of the show so far?
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. It's never the same show, so it's pretty damn cool. And like you said, scary ideas, man.
It's pretty
I'm
scary.
always up for that, man. I'm always up for the tapping.
So I've known you for a little bit, and I officially fully got you on my radar maybe a couple weeks ago when we were talking at North Bar. And
I was saying I'm gonna call in sometime.
Hell yeah, that's kind of when I officially met you, because as comedians, you never really remember meeting people, you know.
Yeah.
It's very gray.
And I mean, I haven't been around for that long. Like I started in 17, so.
Okay, yeah, that's when I started to get confident. After that, like I'm overconfident.
Yeah, it takes a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's a lot of failure more than positivity, but hey, we gotta get through it.
It's rough, especially when, I don't know. I mean, I think everyone gets mad at something when they're being a comedian. There's a lot of negative vibes and low points, and just not feeling like you're successful. Like, what do you like? Are you bitter yet?
Oh hell yeah! No, dude, I'm fucking 30. So when I started this shit, I was like 28. So I had like really accepted rejection like to the fullest. So I have no qualms about being like rejected or bombing or anything like that, man. I'm like pretty settled in and know who I am.
So that shit doesn't matter. So you handle rejection well in every part of your life, or?
Yeah, man. Now I do. Yeah, sometimes the dating aspect earlier in my life, I guess I would say, was the iffier part. But yeah, I'm like pretty settled in to who I am.
Nice.
But yeah, like about the body positivity and everything, like, dude, even I get shamed sometimes for my body type, and I'm 5'8", 140. I'm pretty cut.
Sounds pretty average.
Not to brag. Yeah, and like, dude, still I get trashed on my size, but like I said, it doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, I could just fucking eat pizza at 4 a.m. and not see any effects the next day, even at 30. But yeah, even skinny dudes. Like I'm sure you've gotten shit for being short too, dude. Right?
Yeah, but not in a way that seemed malicious, you know? Like, so you're saying you get shamed for being average or being short, or what was it?
I guess both, dude.
Yeah.
Well, is 5'8" average? Because it seems like people are acting like it's more like 5'10". I don't know.
To me, it's average, but who knows?
Gotcha.
It's close to average.
Yeah. Yeah, because I even get shit for that. But like I said, I don't take it to the heart or nothing.
Like, so you've
like
gotten a woman... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that, especially between my friends, like my closest friends, like when we first had started hanging out, it was like pretty known that we were just going to trash each other and shit. But a rule that they had made was that there was going to be no fat shaming.
Okay.
But that would not stop them from coming at my size and shit. You know what I mean?
What about from women? Like, if you gotten a woman that you wanted to date to straight up say, nah, you're too short or something?
No, not exactly, but...
Or anything like that? Like, for any physical...
If you even look on Tinder, though, like, a lot of the profiles say that if you're not, like, a certain height, just to not even bother, just to swipe left.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Physically, they're not really prone to, like, going that route with you, like, to let you off a little easier, like... I mean, they're just better in person. Women are better in person at that. Like,
yeah.
With Tinder, they just get right to the point. Like, in person, they're gonna let you off a little soft, like, oh, I'm sorry, I got a boyfriend, yada yada, you know.
And you're asking if people give me shit for being short, and like I don't like I guess, but like I feel like it's more like they I get made fun of maybe, but also I don't really take it as that mean. Like I because being short isn't really that bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Like,
I mean, I consider myself kind of short.
Yeah. You're in the correct.
I mean,
I identify. You could identify as that.
Yeah, I'm like at the borderline.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's never bothered me. And honestly, like I would love to get with a taller girl. I know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys would see it like as I don't know, like
emasculating.
Emasculating.
Yeah, because they're weak men.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, I would love for that, dude. I think it'd be cool. Like, let her stand out more than I do. Shit.
Like, so basically, would there be any, like, what if you dated someone who made more money than you? Would that be a problem?
That wouldn't be a problem for me. Like I said, I don't have much shame, dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't have much shame.
So you basically agree with the premise that body shaming is generally a bad thing, and plus size models are a good thing to include them. Sounds like, would you say anything? Yeah.
I'd say it's generally a bad thing. Like, something like that some people might not know about me. Well, I guess everyone would know about me. So, like, I'm really into fashion even. Like, sometimes I'll even watch fashion shows. I don't know, it's just like the vanity side of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always, like, not dug the model types that they have, which is body shaming in itself. But, like, I always felt like they should have a few more different body types, you know what I mean? Like, there's obviously different women that are wearing their products. Not everyone's going to be like that perfect type of slim, that perfect type of height. Calvin Klein is one of the brands that is going in that direction right now. Like, but they just went like full force. Now well, you know, Calvin Klein's like really big on. Well, I'm not sure if you know, but they're really big on like the underwear side, and a lot of their underwear ads now are including like bigger women, like actual bigger women, like not like the author that you had on earlier was saying that you had to be like a certain proportion. Like, no, they're going like balls out with it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and they're doing it obviously as a good business decision and probably good for good
right,
PR.
Yeah, I think it's probably like 60-40.
But hey, it's still a good thing. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm looking at it right now. It's like, and it's still It's still like it's not just that it's not form fitting or whatever. It's also stylish. It's Calvin Klein, dude. So I think it looks good.
Yeah.
And I asked this to I hope you don't get offended if I frame a question to you as a minority. But
I'm anti-offended. Yeah, I can't get offended.
So I'm gonna pose this question: why is it? Oh, you're the one who said it. You're the one who said that minorities prefer thick women.
I don't know, man. For me, well, not for me, but
do you have a theory on why
like
that is?
In my view, it's like, it's such a simple view, but we just like something to grab onto, dude. I don't know, like even like in Mexican culture, there's this like one big song. I don't know if it's too big now, but it gets played often in birthday parties. You know how Mexicans are, like they throw those birthday parties with loud ass songs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking there's a song that literally says, "I want to dance with the fat girl." Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think it does have to do with that eating good aspect of it, like Max and Steve were saying. Like, if you see a fat girl, you know she's eating good. You see a skinny girl, she's probably neglecting that, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like the same sentiment of, you ever heard the saying that you can't trust a skinny cook?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like along those lines. Because Mexicans love to eat too.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
I would say it's somewhere along those lines. What about you? Have you been with a thick girl or like bigger girl?
Thick as in like just meaty around the waist? Not really. I've been with, I guess, overweight women, and
gotcha.
I'm fine with it. It's not my go-to preference.
Right.
But
what is your go-to?
Jewish women.
Oh, okay. That really narrows down the pool.
Petite, yeah. Petite Jewish women. But even then, I prefer the right proportions. So we all have preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want just like a fucking stick. I want some. They gotta have the right hourglass. I like an hourglass figure. I like good legs.
Yeah, definitely.
We need a female to come on and talk about what they prefer about men, like the proportion.
Right. Yeah.
I want to hear that. So, yeah, instead of just making it locker room talk. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it seems like it's been more of like a push for the guys with the guts and like the chubbier guys too. It seems like.
Oh really?
Anyway.
With the guts?
Yeah. Oh no, not specifically, but like just the bigger guys. Like they're more cuddly, supposedly. Like more comforting to like cuddle next to, which I get, yeah, because I probably feel like a bed of nails to cuddle with because I'm fucking bony, dude. But
yeah, that's.
But yeah, myself, dude, I haven't like been in bed with a skinny chick. I don't think, man. Like I've dated a couple skinny chicks, but like in high school and shit. But
so you didn't put the move. That was before it was healthy. Before it was a good. Before before you were sexually active.
Well, I wanted to fuck. But
you wanted to, right?
Yeah, but yeah. I guess you could say before I really got my game or whatever, but which not that much game anyway. But
right.
Yeah, like every girl I've been with has not been skinny. Not to say that they're all like overweight or anything, but yeah.
So that's fine. Because that sounds like they were thick then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's thick, perfect.
Mm-hmm. I mean, last girl I was with was overweight. I don't mind it, dude.
And that was not a problem. Yeah, I've yet to find someone who said that was a huge factor. But that's interesting because I want to find the male equivalent of a female rejecting somebody because of height or something. I just want someone to come on and tell me that they are choosy based on height.
Right.
Very hard to get someone to admit that, but I'm sure it's not that hard. I'll do it. I'll accomplish that.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get a female to call in. A woman.
Right.
Female.
Yeah, you got all these comedians and shit.
Yep, male comedians.
It's hard enough getting a female comedian to go up on stage sometimes.
You mean just at like a mic or a show? Yeah.
No, I mean like at a showcase. You
at a
hardly
showcase.
see them. I mean, I feel like you mostly see them when it's female specific.
Ah.
Otherwise, you'll see like one or two maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, yeah, it's interesting that there's so few.
Have you ever dated a girl taller than you?
I don't think I had. Like maybe like a half an inch.
Oh yeah, that's not much.
It's nothing.
But yeah, like they seem to make it the end all be all now that you got to be taller. As far as like I was saying earlier, like Tinder goes, which I understand too because like some of them willingly admit like they just like to wear their heels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, high heels are gonna add a few inches to you. So.
Okay. Well,
but I feel like some of them get caught up in the same way that some men see it as emasculating.
Right.
Like they kind of fall into the same category that they need a guy to be taller than them, significantly taller.
Yeah. What's the female word for emasculate? I don't even know. Like, there's not a word for that.
Right. I wasn't even gonna try to think of.
Because like women, I don't know. Like women are actually active. Some women, and some men are actively trying to distance themselves from gender entirely.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, the non-binary.
Non-binary, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, to each their own. I don't see a problem with that really.
Right.
But I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but.
Yeah, it's just confusing. It just makes it's a new thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And like it's coming on strong, dude. Really strong. But I mean, I'm gonna try to stick to the body shaming aspect of this. It's not really about that right now, but. What about shorter chicks? Have you dated shorter chicks?
I think they were all pretty much exactly my height, to be honest, and that's by coincidence. Because they were into me. They are all the ones who approached me. I never approach women.
Really?
Pretty much.
So like, what's your, I guess, setting where you get the most approached in?
Let's see. The most approached by women who are into me. Good question, because it's so rare. It's only happened like once or twice in my whole life. So.
I feel like it's like Barnes and Noble.
It's also probably because I'm so bad at reading the signals. But no, I don't get signal. It's hard to get even a signal in Chicago, dude. There's no reception even if you're short.
Yeah, man. I always feel like an underdog. Being short, honestly.
Pretty much. Like even just getting eye contact, I feel, is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I understand it from like a girl perspective. Like I said, there's that high heel like wearing aspect. Too.
I understand it too. Yeah. It's like, oh, this guy.
And then you wanting to look up, like as much as.
Yeah.
I guess they're trying to kind of bring down men in a way. I wouldn't say exactly bring them down, but like I don't know, bring them down a notch. Like I feel like, fuck, I lost my train of thought right now.
I just think it's natural. Like it's part of their psychology from an evolutionary reason to not.
Oh, right, that's where it was. Yeah, they do inherently, I think, want to look up to the man that they're with. They want to see him as strong at the end of the day. If not strong, like capable or like better than in a way. Like not like personality-wise, but like maybe in like certain situations, like getting mugged.
Like,
yeah. You're not gonna feel more safe with a shorter guy.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
like,
you also said earlier in the show, you said, I don't know, you said you got shamed for not wanting to kiss a transgender person.
Oh, I didn't. Genuine. He's a R&B singer. He's not really relevant now, but it was in like one of those reality TV show things. Mm-hmm. And apparently there was like a transgender person in the show, and pretty much that transgender person got up and tried to give this guy a kiss on the lips, and he was not going. Like he didn't want to do it. And that's when the internet was really like giving him shit. But at the same time, shouldn't he have a choice? Like,
right.
Right.
I think you have a choice to kiss anyone, regardless of.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you? So.
A choice whether. Yeah.
What about you? Would you date a transgender woman?
I personally don't even like fake boobs on a straight woman.
That's fair.
Not to say that I've had like the option too many times, but like I mean I've obviously been in the presence of strippers. I've been in the presence of natural tits, and that alone, like, I kind of tend to go toward the natural side.
I think that answers the question.
Transgender women, because some transgender women are beautiful, dude. Like you couldn't tell the difference.
It's
you couldn't tell the difference.
That's why the word trap exists. Because you won't know until it's too late.
Well, yeah, like me myself, I'm not gonna like put down a transgender person ever. I'm not gonna really talk shit about them, but like it's just not my avenue.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
What about you? You think you would?
Yeah, probably.
You would?
I would at least date that. Like maybe I would try something. Like if they're
right, yeah, let it play out.
If I'm attracted to them, why not?
Right.
That's the question. I mean, if I'm attracted to them, I just have to be attracted.
That's fair, man. That's the main thing. That's consent right there.
Also, you would win a lot of woke points by doing it. But no, that's a stupid reason to do it. But
yeah, I mean, I know you're joking about that, but
I think that that a lot of people do date people just to look progressive. Like I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I've definitely seen some couples with these super young white women dating these black men just to look woke, I think. And I could tell because they talk about it all the time.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There's some.
Virtue signaling in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the equivalent to that would be for me to date a transgendered woman just to look woke. And hey, it's possible, but I don't know. I don't like virtue signaling.
Right.
But also, even that's a virtue signal thing to say. Oh, I virtue signal against virtue signaling.
It's like a fucking vicious circle that never ends.
Pretty much.
Virtue signaling is just gonna pop up no matter what.
Yeah. So everything.
Something that I thought Steven was gonna say when he was talking about these interracial couples. I thought he was gonna say that because what he eventually got to was that white men don't really get with bigger chicks. I thought that he was going to say you don't really see white men with black chicks too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I see more white chicks with black guys than
really?
White guys with black chicks, I feel.
You're probably right. You just see that more probably because why is that? Black man with white chicks. I think black women are hard to impress if you're white.
Right, yeah, and then I feel like the white men are like a little more intimidated in a way.
Like it obviously depends on it depends on the person, but generally, like if they're like a South Side black, I don't want to use the word ghetto, but that's the word. That's the word.
I guess urban.
Urban. That's a nicer way of saying it. Urban.
Yeah.
They're hard to impress because they think you're whack.
And they're very standoffish too.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the key with those women is for you to be standoffish too. Like, just
yeah.
That's the way to break the ice. We kind of like fuck with them too, and then
thanks for the tip.
that's your opening. Like my bad. I just didn't know what to say. My name is such and such. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just the way to get along. They're kind of like more like the boys in a way. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. I mean, obviously, I'm talking from ignorance. Like, I don't know. Like, it'd be much better to have someone who knows more about it to talk about. I'm just making a guess because I'm from the suburbs and I'm very bad at getting any women.
Where are you from?
I'm from the northwest suburbs.
Okay.
Buffalo
so, like
Grove.
Elk Grove Village.
Not super far from that area, I guess. I don't even know. Buffalo Grove.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know where Elk Grove is in relation to that, but it's just another grove. It's another village. It's a very Jewish area.
Yeah, like once you get away from the city, those groves really start to pop up.
Yeah.
When'd you end up moving to the city, dude?
I've been here since 2012.
You did that specifically for comedy?
I moved here for, I guess, just to be a music type person, and I instantly got into comedy, and I never looked back, and that's the only reason I'm still here.
That's cool.
Man,
I like seeing you on stage, dude. 'Cause you're like real different from everybody's usual stuff, and you're really not afraid to fail. Like I told you last time, it's fun to see you work shit out at that one mic where shit doesn't really go right for you sometimes, but you're still fucking hauling ass.
Dude, when I bomb hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
But when it all comes together, like your craziness is like a lasting memory.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's nice of you to say. Anything else that you wanted to talk about before I let you go?
Shit. No, I don't really want to drive too much off of the topic. I feel like we went kind of off topic already. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man, and keep doing your thing. I'm gonna keep listening.
All right, man. Cool. Thanks for calling.
Alrighty.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for calling.
Hello, is this Scary Ideas with Tim?
Yeah, it is. Thanks for calling, man. It's Ray.
Of course.
Is that okay if I say your name?
Yeah, of course. I was trying to do a Dustin Hoffman. Well, that was a terrible. I was doing it earlier, practicing it for hours, waiting for your show, and then blew it at the right moment.
Can't believe I actually got you to call in. That's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm a rare commodity with the podcasting. Yes, that's good. I wanted to be able to watch you while calling in, but it turned me off the channel.
There's quite a delay.
So
yeah.
It's just I would figure there would be a delay too.
Well, that too, yeah.
Then there would be an extra delay because I'd be watching what I'm saying, and then there'd be that extra delay of me saying. So yes, how are you, Tim?
Well, you will be able to watch it
Jeff
later.
Goldblum.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
Jeff Goldblum.
I didn't even think of that. I hear voices in my head, and it's always Jeff Goldblum telling me to kill my neighbors and shit. So sorry, I wasn't able to tune in completely to what you've been.
Okay, that's fine.
But I was interested in what some, talking about the women.
Yep.
And
talking a lot about women.
Yes.
What
else were you diving into?
The main topic is body positivity.
Body positivity, yes. Yep. That is, that's my subject. I'm glad I called because I have a lot to say about this. Yeah.
Are you,
I've boiled it down to one thing. I've done many scientific experiments, mostly controlled, mostly uncontrolled, very uncontrolled, where I've found that it is positive to have a body. Body. I would say I'm positive I have one. And everyone has a body. No, this is not going to. I'm not going to just make bad jokes.
No, that's great.
It's true. I do. I didn't want to type it in because I don't want it to be there forever. But now you're saying this is going to be there forever, so I'm going to chime in and say I'm not partial to someone. Was it Stephen Curry was saying? You know what? I think he made kind of a generalization. He said white guys are not interested in fat chicks, I think was his quote. I would never say that.
Yeah, he may have said that. I don't remember.
I want to
yeah.
agree with that 100%. That's just a full agreement. Yeah, no, I do. I find I love fat chicks, but not for sexual purposes.
Okay.
So I'm glad I didn't write that in. Yeah.
So you like them, just not. So you.
That just ended the whole conversation. No, what's the actual? What do you mean by body positivity? What is?
So it's a movement,
about, like feeling good. Okay.
It's basically just a movement to make people feel good about themselves in a physical level, whether it's about anything physical. It's a movement.
Wow.
It's basically just anti-body shaming, being inclusive to body
like
types.
The Dove commercials with the slightly overweight women.
Exactly.
Which I love. That's my favorite thing. Yes. Yeah, okay. I didn't know there was a whole movement. Well, I guess I did. I figured it's moving. It's a But, oh, God. What I would do for a fat woman right now is, just can't be told here.
Okay. I mean, you can, but...
I would just show her to the door.
Show it to the...
Out you go. Yeah, no. I like women of all types. I don't want to. This is a bad subject to go on record in any way.
Isn't it? It's so tough.
Whatever the right thing to say is what I fill that in.
We're just dancing around.
But you were right. See, I'm becoming Jeff Goldblum. You were right about the. It is for some white men more difficult to date black women. I think that's why. The black men are usually with white women, and
Yeah, I can't believe I said that. I just think it's hard to get them. Maybe not date them, but to get them is probably.
Well, I have a friend who dated a black woman. To get them, right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I would like to hear the clarification on that. What do you mean?
There's no difference. Either way, I looked bad by saying it.
Get them is just putting them in your trunk, like your usual way. Yeah, you're dating them.
Right.
Trunk them. Yeah. No, I would totally date a black woman, but there are some of them who are, this sounds awful now. No, I mean, I find I am intimidated sometimes by some of them. Maybe it is a South Side or an area thing that, we're biased by, but a lot.
Yeah, the difference is cultural. It's cultural.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a cultural difference that makes us have a disadvantage, and I wonder why the other way works easier, like black men. If I was a black man, I could date a white woman.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But I would probably take my time being a black man to date more black women, since I've spent most of my life as a white man. If that's how it went. Yeah.
So I think we agree on most things. So you're pro interracial dating.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I even have a friend, his name will go nameless, who kind of has like I shouldn't say it. You don't guess or anything, but he kind of has like Nazi leanings and like listens to alt-right type stuff. And even I've heard on occasion, I don't know if he's careful with me or he really I don't think he would be considered racist, but he's made kind of comments that are like, at least he'll defend like when there's like too much of the other way of like racism against white. I don't know. It makes him sound bad, but
no, that's
he dated a black girl.
Yeah, okay.
He dated a black girl. It was like the love of his life, and they're still friends. And he shows me her pictures of tits that she sends him.
Oh yeah.
And that point is moot. But so that's an odd thing. I've always wondered about that. But
you mean the fact that he dated the fact that he was in an interracial thing and also still says all these alt-right things?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Okay, I guess it's not that weird, but because he's a good guy. He's not like I make him sound like he's a Nazi. He just wears the uniform and has this little But yeah.
I mean,
what else have you been talking about? What?
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, if the guy if he's saying stuff that sounds alt-right, that is pretty much synonymous with being a Nazi to some people.
Right?
I mean, that is.
I know.
It's not that far off.
But I know there's more of a it's not the case. I mean, he showed me like different articles and stuff written by someone who he admires.
Mhm.
It's on the alt-right spectrum, and I don't
Right.
think any of it is blown out been Nazi or white supremacist like, but so he likes this ideology, but at the same time I think there's a separate part of him that is not racist or at least he's attracted to black women. Who knows how he is?
Right.
He's a good guy.
It sounds
If anyone is.
conflicting. Like, yeah, it just sounds
It's a
like.
conflict. Yeah, what I just read, or I've read before, but I just found out it was. Can't remember the quote exactly, but that was F. Scott Fitzgerald said that the highest, or a sign of high intelligence is holding two opposing ideas in your mind at the same time
Mhm.
while functioning perfectly well.
Hmm.
And in a certain way, that represents that. So as much as we call him a Nazi, if he's listening, which he's not, we're also saying he's a smart man.
Hey, yeah, that's
Okay.
fair of you
Yeah,
to,
there we go.
assess
He
him.
fits he holds the idea that he loves the black women, but he also hates them. No, just kidding.
I mean, they always
what
say,
yeah.
they always say that racists, or what do they say? They say that if you're homophobic,
Yeah, well,
that probably means you're in the closet. Like, the more homophobic you are.
oh, I agree with that for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some.
It's a trope.
but,
I mean,
but-
yeah, it's just a trope.
Right, but I have agree that that's probably true in many cases. I
Absolutely.
happen to. See, I know I'm not gay because of all the gay experiences I've had and not enjoying any of them.
Have
So
you actually had
that's
any gay
more-
experience?
Oh God, many, but not one did I enjoy for a moment. So far from gay. But yeah,
So you've had many.
To be truthful and not to be just a jokester, I have had a few
Oh,
kind
okay,
of
a few.
almost gay, and I shouldn't go into it. But it was, and there were drug involved and for money.
That's what I was
stuff
wondering.
like that.
So you don't want to go into that?
Yes,
Probably a good idea.
I don't care. Nobody listens to your show, right?
Nah.
Just kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. But no, that was all a lie. It was just a bad joke. But, yes.
What else is on your mind tonight? Anything?
Oh, just men.
Men.
I mean, not men. No. What else? Oh, I'll tell you what's on my mind. Just before you called, I think I went the furthest I did with like a bot. She was very good. Not a bot, but like someone trying to catfish you into looking at their webcam or whatever.
Where was this,
And-
on Facebook or what?
Just on Facebook,
Yeah.
because I was on looking for you, and then I was on Facebook Messenger, it popped up, and it was this girl from Winnetka.
Dude,
and she
same person
she-
messaged me. Same fake person messaged me.
You got that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the name?
It was a fake
Surrendra.
name. It doesn't
That's the
matter.
name.
It was
That's the name.
fake.
Is a ridiculous. I
Yeah.
know, but why is she like? I was like taking it far to want to believe that it wasn't fake. Like I was like early on in the conversation, I was like, now you're going to tell me about your webcam
Yeah,
or sell
yeah.
me something, right? And she like avoided that, and then like 20 minutes later, she's like, so you want to see my webcam? And but then she called me on Facebook. Like I said, no, I just or whatever. I asked her for her number to try to make it real in my world, but I knew it was fake the whole time. But so she gave me the number. And then she said, just text only. I called it, and then it's not that interesting. But then I got a call on Messenger. I think what was strangest about it is I think it was a visual call.
Mm-hmm.
Like before this, what do you call it, FaceTime or something? But
Right.
before this, I asked her for a picture, and she sent one that's very nice, so it wasn't a waste completely. I got a nice little picture of someone in a bra. It's an old bearded man, but
Interesting.
he was wearing a nice bra. Yeah, but no, it's a nice good look. Maybe it could be her. It's another blonde girl, but you look at the pictures, they don't even match, and
Right.
totally fake.
Right. Totally.
But anyway, it was weird that she called, and
It is.
I think she's going to call within the next. She said, "I'll call you back in 10." And I'm just I'm only doing it now, and after I realized totally it's fake.
So you still have
I should've
hopes
known
that
long
it's
ago.
real?
No, I
No.
don't think it's real at all anymore. Especially since you just told me that. But even before that, but I still want to know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Like what is if she's calling? Is it going to be a message that says, "You can see my webcam"? And I'm like, oh fuck. Or
Yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know what-
interesting to see where
or
that
someone-
goes.
Even if it's a fake girl, I'll talk to her for a
Right.
minute.
Well, okay. Let me know
Okay.
what happens with that.
No, I will. Yeah, but that's what's been going on. I'm
Also,
not,
here's a question:
yeah.
Did you feel bad? when you found out it was fake, did you get your hopes up and also get disappointed?
Oh, a little bit. It was kind of like a roller coaster ride of like, oh, that sounds fake, but always the whole time knowing that probably was. So, but also trying to be like polite or not be like, you're a fucking webcam or like, you know.
Right, you got to be careful. Yeah, well, actually, who cares? I mean,
yeah, but my hope wasn't got it up. It was immediately when she friend requested me, I knew, as I always do, I look how many mutual friends and check it out, and there were only 4 mutual friends, and they were all guys.
It was all dudes, all sad. Could be.
Yeah, totally. And that's too few. And then it was all weird. She was like, I'm 20. What are you doing? Or no, as soon as I accepted her friend request, which is the rare thing, I always don't, accept them if they're like less than like 5 friends and it's not something odd, like,
Right.
Yeah, I'm really aware of it. But I accepted the friend request, and right away she sent me a message saying, hey, how are you doing?
Right.
And I was kind of suspicious acting then. I was like, good, dude,
It's
I know you from
super
somewhere.
suspicious,
Yeah, and then she was like, why? Do you not like she immediately went to which was more info to show me that she was fake. Like, whatever. But now I'm getting all excited thinking about it, because there were moments I was like, fucking, but then I asked her age, because she looked real young in the pictures. I didn't want to be like I knew it was Chris Hansen. It was him behind. I think when I answer the phone, he's going to say, hey, you're on Dateline.
Yeah, it is creepy.
The 2 shows I'm on.
She looked
I don't know what the phone call is.
It did look young.
She did, but she said she's 23, and she was very specific about her other things. Like, I live alone with my aunt in Winnetka. I'm 23. I work at CBS. Like, it was so fake, weirdly fake. But it also could have been, in my mind, the one glimmer of hope was like, oh, she's just real weird, and that also explains why she asked me, do I like sex? And I like sex too. And all this, and that no girls ever do that.
No, but we're trying.
Never.
I mean,
well, once in a while.
Every once, but not on Facebook really usually. But unless you never know, maybe they.
There's all the signs were no.
Like, I feel like this person goes after comedians because they know that comedians are so vulnerable and sad. Like, they just know. Oh, maybe she saw me somewhere.
I think that's true. But what do you think What do you think I would answer if I answered, or I will if I get it again? What is going to be on the other end? I don't even fucking know.
If it's real or if it's fake. If it's fake,
no, it's definitely fake. There's no doubt it's fake. But what would she call me?
Oh, that part I don't know. That part's a curious thing.
It's a mystery. Yeah.
It would probably play some video or something.
Conversation call, and I could pick it up while I'm on here and do the whole thing. But the ratings would go through the roof.
Yeah, it'd be cool. But
that
is curious that they called.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Oh yes. Yeah,
but
I was kidding. I'm saying you were probably going to say that.
Okay.
Hey, dude, I'm glad I called in. I'll be a weekly caller. Are you on weekly?
Hell yeah, dude! Every Saturday.
Dude, I listen every Saturday. That's how I know you're weekly. Every Saturday, I will call in weekly. Is that all you wanted to talk to me about?
We should probably wrap it up soon. But is there anything you want to plug coming up?
Do I have a plug?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yes, I will be working for a moving company for the next foreseeable future.
Oh,
that's my plug. So,
cool, man.
Yeah. No, I am working for a moving company, but that's to make a little extra dough while I'm I'm kind of on a hiatus from comedy, which but I do want to come back to it. And,
just gotta get your ducks in a row.
How are you, not to take up your time, but how are you on comedy? Are you still at it like a maniac?
Yeah, I'm still really bombing in a weird, like I am still a maniac completely.
That's how you know you're going well. Yeah, good. No, you're the best bomber there is.
Yeah, well,
you and Ted Kaczynski. Yeah,
I'm working on it.
All right, that's good that you're at least going out and shit. And
yeah, I'm still going out a lot.
There are people commenting and shit.
You mean on this?
Crazy right now?
On this video or on me?
Yeah, or did they all tune out when I called in?
I feel like at this point it's just maybe one other person watching.
Fuck! Tell them to fuck off.
Tell them to fuck off?
No, I'm just kidding. No, but, tell them to tune in and tell all their friends.
But either way, this will be.
Last thing I'll say, and then I'll let you go.
I mean, this is a podcast, so it'll be up forever. It'll get.
Oh yeah, that's
who knows
right.
how many
I get
people
caught up on that. I'm like, well, how many viewers are we going?
Right, right,
okay.
right. It's not just
That's right.
radio.
No, it's a good show. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not just radio, right? Exactly.
Hell
But
yeah, dude.
last thing I wanted to say, did you see the little review I gave you? I just gave it to you while you were on your show.
I didn't get a chance to read it because I was on the air.
Okay.
But I
you
will,
saw it though.
I
Good,
will
good.
read it.
I'm glad it went through.
Thanks for
I
doing
can't
that.
find it, and I don't remember. Yeah. It's a negative review, but you're welcome.
I still appreciate it. It's a negative.
You're welcome, man. Yeah, your show's the best I know. And it's in its genre of the Tim
In the
White
genre. Yeah, dude, cool.
guy talking. No, I love it, man. Keep coming back. I don't know what I'm saying. Well, all right, man. That was cool. I'll call in again if you have a lack of callers,
Sounds
and I
good,
can think
man.
of something to talk about.
Cool.
So
Thanks for your
this has been
commenting
cool,
and everything.
man.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, all right, man. Hey, it's been good.
Hey.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. All right, buddy.
all right. Let's do. All right, what if I call in and do voices? Like
could
once
do
in
that.
A while.
You
Just
could
call
do
in
that.
And do a better. We're doing. Damn it, I can't. The ambulance is going. I was doing the Dustin Hoffman. It was really good. It was for like 1 second.
It was good. It caught me off
I'm not gonna be able
guard.
to do it now. No, that was not that. I mean, before the phone call. That was terrible.
Oh,
what I
before
did,
the
so-
phone.
Especially, I can't even hear him in my head now, so that's odd. But all right, man. I will. If I call in again, it won't be me. So
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon. All right, buddy.
All right,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
Take it easy.
Talk to you.
Peace.
All right, buddy. Bye.
The Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery. Sergeant at Arms will restore order in the gallery.